Looking to learn more about Black history in Northeast Missouri, there's an event for Hannibal and you in Hannibal tomorrow. Hannibal's Juneteenth Coalition, Jim's Journey, and Parks and Recreation organizations are partnering to provide free food, prizes, games, and education. It is all to uplift the Black community and let people know about their deep roots there. Organizer Faye Dant's own great-great-grandfather was a slave in Hannibal, and she says she wants to make sure as many residents as possible learn about that kind of history.
There is a void in our education system, and we're trying to bridge that gap and trying to bring some more unity to the community, and feel more inclusive, more diverse, and that's what we're hoping for. And we always get a very diverse group of people.
And the Black History Month event takes place tomorrow from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Admiral Kuntz Recreation Center. Admission is free.